Welcome to the 163rd edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am still your Majestic Champion, even though I've defended it, Tigerhite.
And I'm Peanut Gallery.
We got some drama. Actually, it came a little bit later than I thought it was going to. Regarding the McMahon documentary, we will be watching it, we will be covering it, but something else happened over the course of this week where we will do that topic instead. But McMahon put out a statement regarding the documentary. Did you see any reviews based on what people said about it?
I've heard mainly that if you're a wrestling fan, you know most of this documentary.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we'll still cover it. And then also, just for people to understand why they did not cover the Janelle Grant stuff, it's because it's currently going through the court process. Yeah, they're not going to cover, and especially during, especially because it's a ongoing situation, they're not going to talk about it.
Right.
So don't expect them to talk about that at all.
Right.
But yes, I saw Stone Cold's whole CTE thing. There were some very weird statements, but I think that's sort of why I want to watch it, is because of the wild, outlandish statements that I saw from it. But I wanted to at least cover it, that, oh, he's trying to play damage control for some reason.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more about some of the behind-the-scenes processes that were going on.
Yes. So I just sort of wanted to cover it with drama because there were a lot of people talking about it.
A lot of opinions on it.
Exactly. So this is kind of an interesting situation where AEW released a video with Nigel McGuinness and stuff, but it was copyrighted by WWE. I want to make something very clear. This is most likely automated. Yes. WWE is a gigantic system, and YouTube's copyright system, I've dealt the fire with it, it's
mostly automated.
It's mostly automated. Just as a personal aside to this channel is not the original channel. The original channel does not exist anymore because New Japan flagged it to oblivion because of this system.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this whole drama was completely unnecessary unless somebody can show me that this was a manual flag, which you can. You can't say anything about it. I think it's kind of silly. Also, William Regal finally addressed his time in AEW. I'm not going to go over the entire thing. You can read it right now. But I love that he destroyed every single cult member that is saying that he was a snake, that he was this. And not only did William Regal address it in a very detailed tweet, it was backed by pretty much half of the roster who are actively on Twitter. This whole narrative that William Regal was some sort of inside job person
is just not true.
It's so not true. And even if it was true, why would WWE do that?
Right.
That would be such a damning thing. And also, it's illegal.
And there's no evidence that happened.
Exactly. So I'm glad that William Regal finally addressed it and totally took it down. Now people can shut up about it. I wanted to talk about this one because I talked to Common Sense. He is as much of a fucking prick as you would expect.
Is he a AEW guy?
Yeah, he's an AEW. Well, no, he's not an actual AEW guy, like employed by them.
No, but he is pro AEW. He is anti WWE.
He literally is saying that Triple H should die. Like, that's disgusting.
Like, yeah.
This is what the cult is. If you are a super AEW fan and you hate everything WWE, this is you.
Right.
You are associated with these people.
Right.
And you can like AEW. I like AEW. I just want it to do better. That's all I want. Because I understand competition is good.
Right.
But I am getting down on my knees and blowing the coke off of Khan's cock. Try to say that 5 times fast.
I'm shocked that you even got through that. Did you practice that line?
No, I didn't. I literally just thought that right off the top of my head. So we will I'm pretty sure Peanut Gallery will talk more about this.
Yes.
But I want to really elaborate on contract tampering because there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to contract tampering.
Mm-hmm.
A person can talk to another company and sign a contract with that company at the start date that is later. Mm-hmm. That is something they can do.
That is something that has been done and can be done.
Exactly. It's like when you go from one job to another job, or if you have two jobs, that is in every technicality not contract tampering.
Right.
Because you are signing that agreement and you're working together.
Yeah.
When it comes to contract tampering, it is when they knowingly, so if WWE knowingly took the Lucha Brothers from AEW and had them on television, but they still were under AEW contracts, that's contract tampering. What Eric Bischoff did in the early days of the war, like with Medusa throwing the women's champion in the trash, when Ric Flair had the world champion, you could consider that contract tampering.
But that practice doesn't exist anymore because of things like that.
Exactly. When it comes to this situation, people aren't mad at Tony Khan for extending Rey Fenix's contract due to injury. But Tony Khan stated he would never do that. And I have proof of that. In an interview with Fightful regarding a concussion problem in 2022 with Adam Cole, his contract was coming up. And he signed a new deal, but they asked about the injury because Adam Cole had that. Tony Khan said verbatim that he was never going to do that. He was never going to extend somebody's contract due to an injury. It's a scummy way to do it. The problem is that Tony Khan said he would never do it. That's why there's a problem here. He knew that the Lucha Brothers signed a contract with WWE.
No, they never did.
They never did.
No, they never
did.
They
had the intention of signing.
They had the intention. They were talking to Triple H and all
this
that stuff.
Is directly. They tacked this on because he knows that they're going to the WWE.
Yeah.
This is petty. Not only is it petty, but he lied to you.
Or he didn't lie. He went back on a promise that he made.
Yes, but that's lie. That is a lie. If you promise something and you go against it, you are lying to their fucking face. That is a lie. So that is why people with a fucking brain are upset about this. Does he have the right to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's signed in the contract. I would love to see the contract, because if there is no provision in there stating that they can extend the contract due to an injury, Rey Fenix might have a cause of contract tampering.
It's not. That's not the case. That's just flat out not the case.
Yeah, it probably is in there because in that same interview, Tony Khan did say that he had the option to extend Adam Cole's contract when it came up in 2022, but he didn't. Well, he didn't have to do it, but then he said he would never do it. But he had the opportunity to do it.
Anyways, moving on.
Well, I'm just trying to clear the air because people don't understand what contract tampering is. And it's like, do you not know contract law? Ask ChatGPT. It's literally the internet. God. And finally, there was one situation. Oh, I guess I didn't. But I want to address what happened with Swerve Strickland, because actually it does come back to contract tampering. Swerve Strickland was on The Breakfast Club this last week.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big platform. The Breakfast Club is not a small platform. Because Mercedes Moné was on there, and she's a fucking idiot. But he admitted, not directly, but he admitted that nobody within WWE spoke to him or representation for him. Tony Khan signed Swerve Strickland to this huge amount of money because Swerve implied that WWE reached out to him. and Tony Khan signed him to all the money for him to stay. Swerve Strickland lied about contract tampering. That's not, well, that's not contract tampering.
No.
But number two, he lied that he was reached out by WWE. You know why? Because Swerve Strickland is not him. He is not the guy, because he's like, oh, WWE's upset because black people can't make all this money. Are you really bringing in the race card, dude? Come the fuck on.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying that. A lot of people are bringing up race in the WWE, and it's just flat out not true.
It's so absolutely not true. Just because they're not in the main event does not mean anything. Also, there are other races in the fucking main event. Cody Rhodes faced a Samoan dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Bobby Lashley isn't there. Who is going to go to main event? The only person that I can think of right now is Montez Ford, and Montez Ford is currently in a tag team, and he's in a tag team title match on SmackDown next week.
Right.
What about Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair? Bianca Belair and Io Sky had one of the best matches in Raw history. Guess what? Both of them ain't whiteys.
Right. But anyways, we digress.
It's just disgusting that that they are so desperate on making WWE look bad that they have to bring up fucking race.
Which is like the ultimate scapegoat card to pull.
In fact, it actually discredits any actual form of racial discrimination when you bring up just nonsense. It's nonsense. Anyway, I mean, look at fucking Obafemi. He's being fucking groomed to be the face of the company, and the guy is from fucking Nigeria.
Right.
God damn it, people are stupid. What about Trick Williams? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Look at
that trick, man.
And Carmelo Hayes, even though he's in a prominent program for the United States belt, and he continues to have great matches with Andrade, who is from Mexico. Anyway, just absolutely destroying every misconception that Triple H is, for some weird reason, racist. I don't get it.
Anyway.
Now, when we come back, Peanut Gallery has got some news.
Yes.